Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Reality Is where words do come to life. Well, I did a live stream on Tuesday on my other social media outlet, and I was speaking with a mother as relates to the issues in Statesville Prison. But I want to stop by here and talk about Cook County Jail. As I've said many times before, whenever I get some information, then I'm going to always bring it forward so we can all know. Too long, things have been swept up on the rug, doors have been closed, eyes have been shut, and ears have been plugged up. But now is the time for us to let everyone know whether you are experiencing anyone in Cook County Jail or not, because it could be a blink and it could hit your door any day. And so, as we know, we're still sitting in the middle of a pandemic, right? And so, Cook County Jail is full of inmates. The process and procedures are questionable. When they move inmates a lot, they move them a lot. Now, my understanding, when they're moving them from deck to deck, they should test them. And if they are found to be tested positive, they are supposed to quarantine them. Well, on one of the decks, they moved an inmate in, and the cellmate was asking him why he was coughing so much. And he had been there for a minute. Nobody had tested or anything. He had been there for a minute. And then they found out he tested positive. And then immediately they moved him out and put the rest of the inmates on quarantine for 14 days. Now, meanwhile, those guards, COs, and whoever working the decks, they have on full garment, gloves, mask, and the whole outfit. So, in other words, you all protect your workers. You're starting to protect them. But again, you don't give a damn about those inmates that's sitting inside of those facilities. And here is my thing. Toni Preckwinkle announced that she's running for office again in 2022. Your name sits boldly outside on California, along with Tom Dart. And then as I was talking to somebody else about it, they say Tom Dart is trying to hold his seat. And for me, neither one of y'all need to hold a seat, because you haven't done anything. You haven't made an impact. There is no reform in Cook County Jail. The conditions are horrible. The food is horrible. Jail ATM is okay, but it does not work like it should, especially when family members are paying for the packet, and then you all put stipulations on when you can get the packet every other Tuesday, and you have to put the order in before 12 midnight in order for them to get it Thursday. But they could only get one. But here is my question. If the family member is paying for the packet, why do you all have stipulation? Because everybody else can't get the same benefits and privileges? Well, clearly everybody else are not getting the same benefits and privileges anyway, because everybody don't have family members that will pour into them. Everyone don't have family members that will send money. They just don't. But do you have another system set up so they won't feel like they're on the outside looking in? And a lot of these issues and conditions that's sitting inside of Cook County Jail, our authorities help the situation become worse. There is no programming. There's nothing for them to do, nothing whatsoever. And then you get y'all bald-faced behinds on television and you act like you are doing such a fantastic job, and you are not. You're not doing a fantastic job. I don't know what makes y'all think y'all can pat yourself on the back and continue to lie to us who are the constituents and think we're supposed to be okay with what y'all doing. We have woken up. Times are changing and we're sick and tired of being sick and tired. So if you can't put your money where your mouth at, then you need to get out to sea. And if you have it, and Tony Prepwinkle, you raise property taxes. So why should we feel the need to put your little raggedy butt back in office? And Tom Dart, you haven't done nothing. The conditions are still as they are. They have bugs. They have rats. The facility is nasty. The food is nasty. They don't have no programming. And do you wonder why people recycle in and they recycle out? Privatizing, making money on every head that's in there. And then the other piece to this is our state's attorney office, I'm learning, hold a big ownership for what happens in Cook County Jail. We spend our time talking about the police department, but we never talk about those officials and those departments who stall the process. And right now, we know that it's the state's attorney because an incident happened on the west side, and her and the mayor are having words, and she don't want to press charge. And the understanding is she got all the proof that she needs, but she says it's not enough. See, we have selective amnesia. We have selective view of how we see things and how things should be addressed. And this is the problem. So you all think that we should trust what you say, what you do. No, we shouldn't, because what you say and what you do is two totally different things. And as we see again, the only individuals that are affected are the black and the brown. Nobody else is affected. When somebody sits in prison for 3 years without going to trial, and because the state's attorney stalled the process and said they haven't gotten all the discoveries in, something is wrong with that picture. But yet and still, again, as I said many times before, you all stand up here in front of the cameras, big and bold, and you say, I'm running for state's attorney. I'm running for mayor. I'm running for governor. I'm running for Cook County Sheriff. I'm running for Cook County Board President. And I understand the needs of the people. And for the past couple of years, we have worked hard to make a change. And y'all ain't changed jack. The shooting and the killing is still at an all-time high. And all y'all do is bicker backwards and forth like a bunch of kids in the playground. You forget your job. You forget your position is to represent the people. And instead of representing the people, what you all do is represent yourselves. And so our conditions in the prison system, the prison reform that you say is working is not working, because you all listen to the same old people all the time, and you recycle the same crap over and over again with no results. We don't have no results whatsoever. And everybody want to point finger to who is the accountable party in the problem. Y'all all are accountable. Every last one of you are accountable. I saw where in the article where Pritzker was in his feelings because some billionaire that used to support Ronner when he was in office saying that Pritzker's not doing anything about the crime. Well, let's take ownership to it. There's no real impact about crime. Again, I'll go back, and I said this in every video that I have. When they was looting and breaking in downtown, you all got together and used every resource possible to find those looters. But you mean to tell me you can't find one shooter? With all the cameras, you can send out red light tickets. You can catch that for people who have not really broken the law, but they seem to work where y'all want them to work. And you can't catch those who are just sporadically shooting individuals. How does that work? And why do you all feel that we should be okay with your behavior? Why do you feel that we should be okay with how your voice speak to our well-being and how we live and how we move when you all don't even care? You can raise all this money for campaigns when you run it, but amazingly, when you get in office, the money dries up. But amazing, when you're running for office, you can find all kinds of funding. I have a problem with all this. I have a problem with every last one of y'all. Tony Prepwinkle got a problem with you. A big problem. Again, as I stated earlier in this broadcast, your name is outside of Cook County Jail on that kiosk. Tony Prepwinkle, Cook County Board President. So that means you are aware of the conditions and you choose not to do anything about it. You raise property taxes. You're the one who pushed for the bad tax and solar tax and everything else. But yet and still you act like you represent the people. And really you're not. You represent those individuals who put money in your pocket and you work for them. You don't work for the people. Let's keep it 100. Tom Dart, I don't know why you stepping up to the plate to act like you have been such a good person as it relates to the conditions in Cook County Jail, and you have not. You have not. When your workers complain, you know the conditions are horrible. And I've been inside of there. I know what it looks like. It stinks. It smells. That building actually needs to be torn down. It is ridiculous. It's rat infested, bug infested, whatever it is. And people are actually working in the bathrooms are horrible. The waiting room is horrible. Everything is horrible. So where are the tax dollars going? And I hold our governor and our lieutenant governor accountable too, because you all know just as much what's going on and you all choose not to do nothing about it, but you pick and choose what you want to pat yourself on the back for. So you want to pat yourself on the back for COVID-19, that you did such a wonderful job and making sure that you shut down when you shut down, people were safe and you enforce the masks when they need to be enforced, but crime is still up. Crime is still up. And then to hear that our mayor is a cocky individual and how she talked to people is very disheartening, to know that you stand before people to represent the people and you're disrespecting people. That's not a good look whatsoever. So for me, everybody is accountable. Everybody account, even the people in the community, we're all accountable. We hold accountability too. But then we also hold the buck of what y'all screw up to, what you mess up. We hold that. When we have black and brown, again, Kim Fox, this is your data that you did at the Justice Advisory Council on the West Side, that your representative stood up there and said 90% in our Cook County prisons are black and brown. And that is a percentage that weighs heavily on me, because it lets me know that there is discrimination. It lets me know that there is no fairness. It lets me know that black and brown are picked out to be picked on. And then you turn around and you finish with 50% in there are innocent. So that means the state's attorney holds the bulk of the accountability. The judges hold the rest of the accountability. The police officers hold a small percentage of accountability. But those who make the decision where people stay, get a bond, and go home, this is not working. It's not just about the price of the bond. It's about the fairness of the bond. So how can you adequately say that somebody is a threat to society, judges, if you have not read the case? You have not read the detail of the case. You're going by what the state's attorney is feeding you. But is what the state's attorney feeding you the correct information? Because per the state's attorney, they don't have all the evidence neither. So then answer me this. How can you adequately say that somebody is denied bail or bond when you don't know the gist of the case? You don't have any details. You don't have any knowledge. Now, for those who come that's been advertised on the news and videos and stuff, that's different. But for those who stand before you and you say you haven't read it, so how can a state's attorney make a decision whether that person should stay or go home? Y'all let white folks go home all the time, and they are all on video. I'm not understanding. So help me to understand, because from where I'm sitting at, this is not fair. Nowhere to be looked at across the city, the state lines, and this country. We get the short end of the stick on everything. And it's time for a change. And I'm going to a meeting on Saturday, and believe me, I'm letting my voice be heard. And matter of fact, I didn't spoken with a couple of people who are fighting for the same thing. And some people, you all already know who they are, but we're tired. We're tired. We love our family just like you love yours. And the same, you call in favor for yours, but you want to lock ours up and throw away the key. And that's ridiculous. It's totally ridiculous. And it needs to end. All right. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Until we talk again.